Hi everyone, today's video is going to be about losing weight with PCOS and how you can correct it with vitamins, supplements, and a nourishing diet. First off, I'm going to give you a little disclaimer here. Nothing that I say in this video is meant to replace the advice or the guidance of your doctor and or nutritionist. You need to speak with your healthcare professionals to determine the plan that is best for you. So recently I found out that I have PCOS, and that is the reason why it's been so difficult for me to lose weight even on a diet. I would just kind of stall out after 10 or 15 pounds and the scale would not budge even if I stayed on that plan for 3 or 4 months. And I started looking into why that is. And the discovery that I had PCOS, it was both good and bad. Good because I knew what it was now and I could do some research on how to treat it. And bad because I wish I would have known about this many years ago. I think my quality of life would have been much better. I would have been in good shape and everything would have been different. But we're going to focus on the good things, and the biggest good thing is that I know now rather than 20 years from now. Now, what is PCOS? It's a condition that women have where their hormones are all out of whack. And this can cause a lot of unpleasant symptoms. It can make it very hard to get pregnant, sometimes impossible, so infertility. Acne, a lot of hair loss. Well, it's more like hair shedding. Like if you take your hair and do this, you'll pull out 3 or 4 strands. Actually, I can do that now. And I don't know if you could see that, but yeah, there's 3 or 4 strands right there. And when you have PCOS, you could do that multiple times a day. It's a thing, you know. You'll notice it when you're brushing your hair or in the shower. There'll just be these wads of hair. Either really painful, unpleasant, mood swingy periods, and general problems with depression regardless of the time of month. Some get facial hair, and of course excessive weight gain. Some women might also have the little cysts on their ovaries, hence polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's specifically when a woman's body is producing too many male hormones. So that's causing all these things to happen. Step 1 to treating PCOS naturally, you've got to stop thinking about calories. Naturally, if you eat healthy, you'll consume less calories than if you eat junk, of course. But outside of that notion, your focus should be mostly on nourishing your body, not starving and depriving your body. So you want to start with a healthy diet. The best diet for PCOS, if you can go vegan, then try to, but honestly, I can't, and a lot of people really don't want to. So in that case, low carb would be the best diet. That is because carbohydrates like bread, flour, pasta, sugar, cake, even a lot of fruits out there, they're very high in sugar content. Natural sugar, but it's still sugar. Especially fruit juices, you really want to avoid those. Stay away from those starches like corn, potatoes, anything that contains them. You can pretty much eat any vegetable under the sun that isn't starchy. If you do eat fruit, you want to keep it low sugar, like raspberries or blueberries, and watch your portions. Now, this is entirely up to you. I'm doing this, but this is your choice. I've been reading on a few websites that beef and dairy, which some dairy is allowed on a low-carb diet, like sour cream or heavy cream. There are some websites that say that dairy and beef can actually throw off your hormones even more and aren't the best thing for PCOS. Different opinions exist on this matter. I have chosen not to include beef and dairy in my low-carb diet, so most of my proteins come from chicken, turkey, and fish. My healthy fats come from the natural fat that is in those meats, and also from the omega-3 supplements that I take, and avocados, my coconut oil that I keep on hand. So I figure that's plenty natural good fats in my diet. So once you got the diet part out of the way, you're on a healthy diet plan. You want to start taking some supplements that are going to help you to correct all of your imbalances. The first thing I want to talk about is a general good 1-a-day multivitamin. You want to make sure that you are getting vitamins from food sources, whole food or raw food sources. Now those are going to cost a little bit more, and I am not going to lie to you. You're going to have to invest in your health. I mean, if PCOS has come to a point where it is disrupting your life and causing you a lot of symptoms that you really just can't tolerate anymore, then you do have to invest in your health and correcting the imbalances of your hormones. So just, economize in other areas, set aside a little bit of money to make sure that you've got your supplements and your vitamins. Just do your best. Okay, so back to the vitamins. The really cheap stuff, bottles of women's multivitamins that you take once a day. I'm sure you know all the popular brands when you see them on the shelf. They may be cheap, but guess what? They are synthetic. I'm going to read you something really quick. The Organic Consumers Association stresses that the synthetic vitamins cannot be used or recognized by the body the same way natural vitamins are. So my favorite one is by Garden of Life, the brand name, and it's called My Kind. It's certified organic, verified non-GMO, certified vegan, certified gluten-free. So regardless of what eating plan you're on, this is a good one. You want to look for a vitamin that says whole food multivitamin. It'll say on the box, okay? You always want to check to make sure it says whole food or raw food as a source for your vitamins. If not, turn it over, look on the back, see where it comes from. If it comes from some kind of plant, then okay, you're in the clear. Now this is $20 a bottle. That might sound insane to some people, but when you consider the fact that your body is going to absorb a lot more of it instead of just throwing it away like the cheap synthetic things, and it's better quality, it'll do more good things for your body, then it might be worth it. These are not chewables though. They are whole capsules. You swallow them whole. They look like this, little speckles in them. I'm sure there are other brand names, but this one is the easiest one for me to get. The next one is vitamin D3. Now, I cannot stress this enough, that if you get no other vitamins or supplements on this entire list, make sure you get this one. Why? Because it is probably the most important supplement for women with PCOS, and I will explain this. You don't really get vitamin D or enough of it from anything like food. You get it mostly from sunlight. You need about 15 minutes of standing in direct midday sun per day with no sunblocks or sunscreens of any kind to get sufficient amounts of vitamin D. But most people they do not have enough vitamin D. They're deficient in it. That's because we have jobs where we work indoors all day, or we're at home. And it could be winter maybe, and there's little or no sun. There's all kinds of reasons. You might live in a colder, more cloudy climate. So there's lots of reasons why people are so deficient in this. But it's very important for especially women, definitely women with PCOS, to have sufficient vitamin D. These pills, or these capsules, they're gel capsules, they are about 2,000 IU each, so you want 5,000 IU per day. That means you need to take anywhere from 2 to 3 of these per day. I take 3. So if you do not have enough vitamin D, and you're a woman, that can cause insulin resistance, which really causes weight gain, and it messes up all your other hormones. It messes up your periods, makes them irregular or very heavy, very moody, very crampy. It can cause facial hair, causes obesity, infertility, hyperandrogenism, which is producing too many male hormones. And guess what, honey? Those are some of the biggest and most intense symptoms of PCOS. So you can clearly see now how having this in plenty supply in your body, 5,000 IU per day, will really, really help alleviate a lot of your really bad symptoms of PCOS. Next one up is calcium. You cannot absorb calcium without vitamin D, so you really have to pair those two together. Make sure you're pairing them together. Your calcium, once again, you want to make sure that it comes from a natural plant source. The ones that come from minerals and rocks, those really aren't absorbed very well by your body. You want to go for plant-based. Algae is one of the best ones out there, so turn it around, look on the back, and see what it comes from. They didn't have the algae ones when I went shopping for my vitamins. They were out, so I got the coral the coral sourced ones. Next time I'll get the algae based ones. Those are, you know, I just prefer that. So calcium is not only great for your bones and your teeth, it is also very, very good for balancing out your periods, helping make them more regular, a little less intense. So definitely you want to pair those two together. Okay, now omega-3 from fish oil. Again, we're going for natural food based. There are some that are not fish based, but make sure they're natural if you can. You're gonna have to look around for that if you're vegan. So let me read off from my list here what this helps with. It lowers androgens, which are the male hormones you're producing too much of. It helps depression, helps with weight management by triggering fat burning. It lowers your risk of heart disease, reduces inflammation, improves the health of your eggs for fertility, and reduces the risk of premature birth. It reduces period cramps, lowers your risk of cancer, and helps reduce acne. So this is definitely something that you want to have on hand. Okay, Vitex. This helps with regulating women's hormones. It reduces PMS and PMDD. It helps with reducing inflammation. So really, really good one. Sometimes they call this the women's herb, and it's easy to understand why. Milk thistle. This is important because it cleanses your liver. So you get a lot of excess hormones that are kind of backed up in your liver. This helps clean it out. It detoxifies you. It helps with acne, and it improves your skin. Anytime you detox and cleanse, you're really doing your skin a big favor, because a lot of breakouts and problems with your skin come from too many toxins in your body and too many overloads of hormones. This one is inositol. Not having enough of this can upset your insulin levels, and that can throw off all of your other hormones too. Now mine also has choline in it. You don't have to get that. I just got it because I figured it was like a 2-for-1 deal. Choline basically helps with cell production, and it helps with nerve function. So I was just like, well, 2-for-1, great deal. I got that one. But just regular inositol by itself is just fine. Now this one is licorice root. It's a strong anti-inflammatory. It helps inhibit tumor formation, and it helps regulate cortisol. But there is a caveat with licorice root. Don't overdo it. Don't take too much of it. Take what it says on the bottle and no more than that. Talk to your doctor about this. Let them know about this and see what they say. It says 1 capsule up to 3 times daily, but start out with 1 for like a week and just see what happens. Do choose to try it, and you notice an increase in your pulse or your blood pressure, don't take it. That doesn't happen to everybody, but some people it does. And one that I did not bring with me is cinnamon. Cinnamon, I have the drops in liquid form, but because that bottle of drops, little tiny bottle, was $15, I don't think I'm going to do that again. I just did it to try it. It's convenient, but too expensive. I think I'll just go to the dollar store and get a jar of cinnamon powder and stir it into drinks or something like that. A glass of tea, like iced tea or whatever, 3 times a day. Get decaf though, because caffeine actually messes with your insulin and your cortisol, and it kind of throws off your other hormones too. So if you drink something like coffee or tea, get decaf wherever possible. But cinnamon helps to regulate your insulin, and if your insulin is all crazy and out of whack, you are 4 to 5 times more likely to have a miscarriage. So it's really, really, really important that you regulate that insulin. Okay, so that is it for the ones that I have chosen. There's about 25 other vitamins and supplements out there that they say help PCOS, but the ones I've mentioned are the ones that I've most commonly seen on most of the websites. So I chose those, and I take them every day. I have a little, one of those 98-cent pill organizers. They got the really big, spacious cavities in them. You buy them in the pharmacy section of Walmart, and they're dirt cheap, and you just load them up every Saturday night, put all your vitamins in there, and then that way every morning you could just dump them in your hand and take them 2 or 3 at a time with your breakfast. Okay, well, that's it for now. I just wanted to put this information out there. You can show this video to your doctor or your nutritionist, discuss a few things with them. There have been women who've been able to not use prescriptions for their PCOS by treating it naturally. Whether or not you can do that depends how severe it is, though. So you definitely don't want to just go cold turkey on the prescriptions and try this. You want to really discuss that with your doctor. A lot of times people will get put on birth control. It just kind of masks a few of the symptoms and just tricks your body into thinking it's pregnant. It doesn't really address the problem from the inside. The problem starts on the inside, and you have to address it from the inside. You know, it's up to you and whatever your doctor tells you, but in the end, I personally prefer to treat it from within at the starting point, at the source. I do know that when I went on my beef and dairy free low carb diet and started taking these supplements, 20 pounds suddenly just dropped off of me. It was 10 pounds one week, 10 pounds the next, with, like, I wasn't even exercising. And I know that will eventually slow down, because you always, you know, whenever you find something successful that works, there's always the initial jump start that happens, and then it kind of slows down and you get into a more steady 1 to 2 pounds a week type of thing. But so I get that. I know that won't happen every week. So please let me know what you think. Comment, rate, subscribe. I will talk to you all later. Stay healthy and have a wonderful day.